book my dad ever bought me at age 4 in 1977. I had to wait a few years to learn how to read. But the first book my dad ever bought me was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay, by the time, it's 30 years ago now, I still remember this, I have a good memory. In 1988, when Tony Robbins first published his television infomercials about the personal power thing, and he did one taekwondo kick against a thin board, did his huge horse face pose because he was a man, and we talk about, and I was fat, and I was out of shape, and I lost my job, and I was sleeping in my bathtub, and I was depressed, and I was going nowhere until I realized all I needed was, what was it called? The Personal Power Package, which you can buy now with audio cassettes. And the VHS tapes. And then, you know, remember his big horse head and the big teeth? And then everyone was so impressed that he began what he's been doing the last 30 years. And I love watching how many people he reaches, but I've been so conditioned by that point. And my dad, who's also a very, he's 83 now, bless him, still goes to work every day at his own company because he wants to. My dad, who's also a very extraordinary individual, had conditioned me at young enough an age. I was looking at it thinking, yeah, look at this circus act. It's kind of fun, a little bit better than, remember the Vietnamese Tom Vu a couple years before it? Vietnamese guy, polo shirts, fairly well dressed, bad English. Oh yeah. Sitting on the boat with all the bikini girls. Bikini girls, high heel. He said, look at this, look at the babes, look at the boat. You want to be rich? You order the Tom Vu system. And I will teach you. Just like me. Basic real estate, you know, he would find foreclosures and divorces, but they didn't know. He was charging, like, this 30 years ago, 80s, like 10 grand or something. He got busted and sued later for, you know, shady practices, but whatever. He made me laugh. Then I got Anthony Robbins. He sounded more solid to me, but for me, he was preaching to me what I'd already learned as a kid, how to walk and put on your socks and brush your teeth. But anyway, so now, as I'm getting more exposure and more people are saying, what is the secret? Can you formulate? Well, I can, because there are some elements to my experience and the way I pattern my behavior and my mindset that not everybody else has. It's 400-year-old samurai philosophy and structures of action, which I've decided, just because it's only 4 basic things I do, 4 lines of thought, but I wanted to spell samurai, and I made it work. 4 ideas that spell out samurai, S-A-M-U-R-A-I, samurai. So the first is serious attitude about what you want to achieve. Okay, that's focus, dedication, and passion. Case study example for me would be Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper, drop your weapons, right? Because never mind his achievements, never mind the fact that most people hear the name and we laugh because they don't know that he was a self-made millionaire coming out of business college with his earnings coming from real estate before he made his first movie. Okay, never mind, but what's interesting for me is he began weightlifting when he was 14 years old. He began bodybuilding when he was 14. We have photos online of him at age 16 and the man was a beast. At 18, he was Mr. Universe. He was winning his first awards as the best built physique Europe had ever seen. Now, beyond that, what's even more interesting for me is when you look at old interviews, I've been speaking German now 20 years, of people who knew him when he was young, before he moved to the United States at age 21, that he told his old friends, I'm going to go to America. Oh yeah, he was broke, he had no money, couldn't speak a word of English. He said, guys, goodbye, I'm going to go to America, I'm going to learn English, I'm going to get rich and be a millionaire, I'm going to be the greatest bodybuilding world champion of all time, and I'm going to be a Hollywood movie star. And they all laughed at him. They laughed at him until he made it happen systematically over the next following 30 years. Now, this example I was looking at when I was a teen. Oh, I gotta hurry this up. All right, I'm getting the signal, hurry up, because I get so excited, the stories are getting long. Next one, MU, mastery and understanding of your craft. But I do have a handful of examples of me doing this. The fact I started at 12, haven't stopped since. That's what got aired on television 2 months ago. Okay, mastery and understanding of your craft is professionalism, and self-awareness. For me, the best case study example is Michael Jackson, the king of pop. not looking at his videos, looking at interviews of people who not only knew Michael Jackson, but worked with him. Sound engineers in the studio with him. The choreographers on stage with him prepping for the concert tours. The directors working with him to generate the music videos. They consistently all describe the same guy. The most obsessed perfectionist they've ever seen. And these reports, these descriptions of this consistent behavior start in 1969 when the Beatles were in the top 10 charts together with the Jackson 5, and Michael was the one keeping the team together and on point. Okay, next one, responsiveness and attention. I'm almost done, we're in the last 2 minutes. RA, responsiveness and attention to changing trends. This is being informed, ready, and reactive. What this means for me is following the changes in the market, in demand, in resources, what the tools we have to work with today, insane, and in opportunity. My favorite example for this is Sean Connery. Okay, most of the room is over 40, we're good. I love James Bond, seen every James Bond movie ever made. Sean Connery, big fan. 80s movies, Highlander, big fan. His last movie, around 2005, 6, 12 years ago, was The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Don't see it if you haven't seen it. Worst movie ever made. This was a turd. The movie was a depressing piece of crap. And what made me very sad, loving Sean Connery, is the fact that he retired after making this movie. It was his last one.
Yeah.
Then he stopped at whatever he was, his 70,
He was
70 something, 78 years old, I don't know.
young guy.
Now, I watched this movie once, I'll never see it again, on DVD. At the end of the DVD, you remember they had these extras and the interviews. Instead of the standard formulaic, oh, I've always loved this director's work and I've always wanted to work with him. No, he was Sean Connery and he just gave the most brutally honest answer of all time. They said, Mr. Connery, why did you want to do this film? And he said, well, it's a funny story. A few years ago, my agent handed me a script for a story I couldn't understand, too complicated, didn't make sense. They wanted me to play something called Morpheus in a thing called The Matrix. I didn't get it, so I said no. They made the thing without me. It was a mega hit. They made 2 more parts, and they called it the greatest movie trilogy of all time. After the Matrix trilogy fiasco, my agent handed me the next script and said, Sean, you better look at this one. This one's good. I read it, couldn't understand it, didn't make any sense. It was some children's book I'd never read. They wanted me to play something called Gandalf the Wizard in The Lord of the Rings.
Oh my goodness.
Didn't understand it, so I said no. They made the thing without me. The next bigger hit, next 2 parts, they called that the next greatest movie trilogy of all time. So, the next script my agent handed me was something called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They had Dorian Gray with the Invisible Man, with a vampire, with a British hunter. This made no sense whatsoever to me, but I was afraid to say no. Perfect example of what not to do. Now the last one, because I see everyone's end the day, is initiative. Initiative. Initiative in my samurai voice. It's actually just getting off your butt and doing it, making it happen, okay? And the best and favorite case study examples for that would be me. But I'm around today, tomorrow. I think he's going to interview me now. Thank you very much. Those are Samurai Success Strategies. Okay, awesome.
Give it up for Ryan Hayashi. Yes. We're going to keep the interview right here, just in light of time. So, Ryan, you're amazing, first of all. Are you glad that we brought Ryan to this? Yeah. Good. Excellent, excellent. So, I love you to explain this in 30 seconds or less. Go.
Yeah, these are Computer Genius University students studying computer science at a university in my city, a college, sponsored by the company SAP. These are all refugees who come from Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Syria, with university degrees who are now being trained to work within the European market. And I was their teacher. That's
amazing. And I gotta show him. So when we met,
I cannot believe this one. I was just working this was only 2 weeks ago. I was in Los Angeles, and in walked Steven Seagal, who's now gotten a haircut,
And Richard Branson was following us, as you can see in the back there. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. We just we ended up meeting, and he invited me to Magic Castle. It was a lot of fun. We went to one of the best restaurants ever called Cicconi's in LA.
That was awesome.
Hollywood. Wasn't that fun?
You the man.
Yeah, it's a really great place. Great place. And I got to show him the next photo, and then we might leave on this one. So we became friends on Facebook, and I'm like, hey man, I was telling him the story about being in San Francisco. He's like, oh, like a hippie. I'm like, yeah. And what's up with the cat?
I don't know. That's my concentration. That's Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat.
That was a lot of fun. Guys, please thank and give a warm, amazing thank you to Ryan Hayashi. Thank you, sir. And we can get in touch with you. You can give them your website and so forth. Everyone can get in touch with you.
Yes.
Easiest way is?
Easiest way to get in touch with me?
Yep.
Is to either, I'm on everywhere. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram. It's Ryan Hayashi. But if you just just Google Samurai Ryan, you'll find me, because there's not a lot of samurais out there.
That's true. Yeah. Give it up for Ryan Hayashi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, man.